Sorry, the video cut off. Yeah, so I love the Smurfs, the Lost Village. The animation is gorgeous. The colors are very vibrant. Yeah, so it's basically a callback to the Smurfs animated series from like way back in the day, but in 3D style. So that's basically what it is. Alright, let me put this down. Alright, next we got open season. I don't have open season 2 and 3, but I'm planning on getting them hopefully soon. But the first one, basically every time I watch it, it's like very funny. It's got Martin Lawrence in there from that show, which I forgot it was. You guys can tell me in the comments. But I love open season. Like, the story alone is just very funny, especially that ending scene where they all like confront like the hunters. That was a good scene. We got the Stuart Little box set, which contains all of the movies. All 3 of the movies, I should say. So here's the first one. The first Stuart Little is always a nostalgia for me, because I love the story, the ending's pretty good. The score in this movie, man, it's pretty good in most of the scenes, especially the ending scene. Yeah, so, but yeah, man, I love Stuart Little. And then we got the sequel, Stuart Little 2. Stuart Little 2 is a great sequel. Check it out, man. I mean, I got nothing much to say about these films because I'm like still kind of new to them. So yeah. But here's Stuart Little 3, Call of the Wild. This one was directed straight to DVD. It didn't go to theater just like the first 2 did. But this one is pretty weak because instead of live action like the first 2 movies are, this one has computer animation, which basically, like, to me, that's what made it bad, because I thought it looked much, much better in live action. I mean, you guys could tell me which one is better, the computer animated one or the 2 live action versions, because I like those a lot better than the computer animation ones. I mean, one. Alright, then we got my favorite series by Adult Swim. We got The Boondocks, the first season. Currently, I'm not watching this show yet on HBO Max because, like I said, I'm currently watching Ben 10, the original Ben 10. But after that, I'm hopping straight to The Boondocks because this show is really funny. Like, and also rest in peace to this guy who played the granddad in this series, and the dad from Friday, by the way. Rest in peace to that guy. He was funny. Yeah, go watch The Boondocks if you haven't already. Like, the first few episodes, it's funny. Especially that Trial to R. Kelly episode. It's funny. Will I be getting seasons 2 through 4 on DVD also? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, I'm still debating if I'm gonna get them or not. But, yeah, so that's that row of the shelf. So I'm gonna put everything back. By the way, the Boondocks first season box set contains all the episodes from the first season. This is going to be the last part, by the way. guys. Alright, so there's that. I actually have the last few movies right here. I'm on my bed. So let's dive into those. They're the last movies anyway. So we got the MCU movies. Not all of them, but I got most of them. We got Iron Man. I love Iron Man. Basically, I saw all the Marvel Cinematic Universe films in the theaters, and Robert Downey Jr. did a phenomenal job as Tony Stark, Iron Man. And yeah, I'm gonna miss him as Iron Man. He did pretty good. The villain in this though was pretty weak. I'm not gonna lie, he was okay in some scenes, but most of the movie he was just kind of like thrown in there. I mean, he becomes Ironmonger at the end of the movie, which that's who Iron Man has to confront at the end of the movie. But yeah, but the rest is just a pretty damn good journey. And then we got the Incredible Hulk with the lenticular slip. It has a green case, by the way. Like, see, it has a green case. Yeah, I love that whole scene with Hulk versus Abomination. There was gonna be a sequel to this, because I actually like Edward Norton's version of the Hulk much better than Mark Ruffalo's version, because I don't know, this was the best Hulk movie, and most people don't even talk about this movie because people don't even consider it as an MCU film, but it is still an MCU film, guys. So you just gotta like appreciate it for what it is, you know. Because I certainly love it to death. Next we got Iron Man 2. It's basically a commercial for the Avengers, basically. I like Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. It's basically her first movie in this. Samuel L. Jackson's in it as Nick Fury. But it was pretty damn good stuff in it, though. Like the final fight scene with Iron Man and War Machine versus like these war robots, I think they're called. I can't remember, but yeah, Iron Man 2 is a bad movie, but it's still got some like good stuff in it. Alright, who's next? So bad that I don't have the first Thor nor the first Cap, but I will get them soon. But I do have, after those two movies, we got the first Avengers movie. This release has a nice slipcover. These are all first releases, by the way. All the MCU movies that I have, they're all first release Blu-rays. But I love the first Avengers movie. Basically the first time we get to see Mark Ruffalo's version of the Hulk. They should have kept Edward Norton, but I digress. But yeah, I love that whole New York fight scene at the end. The Avengers battling the aliens. And I love Loki as the villain in this, by the way. Thor's brother. Yeah, good stuff in this first Avengers movie. Very good stuff. I don't have Iron Man 3, which is the film that came out after this one. But I do have probably the weakest MCU film is Thor: The Dark World. I will admit, this movie does suck, but I like the Loki parts in this movie. And I definitely cannot wait for Loki's show streaming on Disney Plus in the next couple days. So I know that's going to be pretty cool to watch. They need to stop releasing clips, man. Because I don't even watch them, but they need to stop with the clips. But the show hasn't even come out yet, dude. But, Thor the Dark World is a pretty bad movie. It sucks. Like I said, I only like the Loki parts. Next, we got Captain America, the Winter Soldier. I love this movie, man. Like, if anyone asks me, what's your favorite MCU movie? I have, like, a lot of MCU movies that are pretty good. But if I had to choose one, it's definitely going to be Captain America and the Winter Soldier. The action scenes are good. Scarlett Johansson's in there. Samuel Jackson's in there. I think Chris Evans as Captain America, Steve Rogers in this, did a lot better than what he did in, at least the first Cap movie. The first Avengers movie, he was good, but I think this is his first movie that he does better than the previous two movies he was in. But, yeah, man, it's just a great movie back and forth from the beginning to the end. And I love the Falcon of the Winter Soldier show that's on Disney Plus. I love it, man. The ending to that show is pretty epic. And then after that movie, we got Guardians of the Galaxy. The one film in the MCU that, and I'm one of those people that was gonna suck. And like, this was going to be the end of the MCU. Like, no. Neither did we know that this movie was actually going to be pretty good. And it actually did a pretty great job. The characters in this is pretty good. Dave Bautista as Drax is pretty hilarious. Brad Cooper as, Rocket. It's pretty freaking hilarious. Vin Diesel as Groot. Like, I am Groot. That's all he says. The ending is sad, man. Seeing Groot die. Sad, man. And I can't wait for, actually, we'll talk about that later. Yeah, just everything. The villain in this, Ronan, is pretty badass when he does appear. But next movie we got is Avengers Age of Ultron. This one got the red case, which is pretty damn cool. I get a lot of WandaVision thoughts when watching this, because this is the first movie that we see Scarlet Witch and her brother, Quicksilver, which that's not their real life names. Those are their superhero names. The real names are Wanda Maximoff and Petro. I can't remember his last name, but his first name is Petro. Petro. I can't do the accent very well, but you guys know what I'm talking about. But, oh my god, I cried at the end when he died, man. Quicksilver, Petro. Yeah, he sacrificed himself for a little boy in this, which is sad. But yeah, this is also the first movie you see, Vision. The Vision. Samuel L. Jackson's in there, of course. I know this movie gets a lot of shit because, I don't know, it's not bad. It's not a bad MCU movie. It's just, like, I like the villain Ultron. He's pretty decent. But his plan for throughout the movie is pretty weak. It's pretty dumb. Actually, the fight sequences are pretty good. Like, that whole truck sequence when I think it's Black Widow, Captain America on that truck, basically taking the Vision out of there and delivering it to Tony Stark. I thought that scene was pretty cool. Yeah, Age of Ultron is a decent movie. It's not a good movie, but it's decent enough for what it is. Alright, then we got Ant-Man. This one's got the black case. I love Ant-Man. The first Ant-Man is the best. By far, the best. One of the best MCU films. The shrinking in this is pretty good. It's funny. Paul Rudd as the character, right there, Paul Rudd as the character Scott Lang, Ant-Man, is pretty funny as hell. He's funny as hell in both the movies that he's in. He's in this, he's in Captain America Civil War for the airport fight sequence. He's also in AntMan And The Wasp, and he's also, which is the sequel to this, and Avengers Endgame. But yeah, I love Ant-Man. The villain in this, Yellow Jacket, a lot of people say he's a pretty weak villain, but I thought he was good. He's not perfect, but he was good. The whole fight scene with the Tobbits, the take-edged fight sequence is pretty funny. Pretty good scene. Then after Ant-Man, we got Captain America Civil War. This movie just screams epic. Of course, we see Black Panther, Spider-Man for the first time in this movie. And it's epic, man. I love the airport fight scene. I love the scene where Black Panther is chasing the Winter Soldier. That was a pretty good scene. And then the airport scene, like I mentioned, is pretty good. All of them fighting it out. The final battle against Iron Man, Captain America, and the Winter Soldier is the best scene in the movie. I know a lot of people say the airport scene is the best sequence in the movie, but for me, it's the Iron Man versus Captain America versus the Winter Soldier fight sequence at the end, the very end. But Civil War is a great movie, and it's one of my favorites. And then after that, we got, oh, not that one. We got Doctor Strange. I love this movie, man. I can't wait for the sequel, like I said. Yeah, just the sequel, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which is going to be directed by Sam Raimi. Yeah, that movie's just going to be good, real good. Because Sam Raimi's directing is like out of this world in a good way. Well, I love the slipcover. It's nice and shiny. Benedict Cumberbatch as Dr. Stephen Strange is epic as hell in this. He's in this movie, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, and that's it. We're going to be seeing him soon again in the sequel to Doctor Strange, which I cannot wait for. Like, so bad. I just want 2022 to hurry up and get here already. And then after, we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The first one is better. This one pretty much has a father and son relationship type of movie. The ending is pretty well executed with Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord. He goes and he has to kill his father because the first movie, it showed, like at the beginning of the first movie, it showed like a younger version of him with his mom dying in the hospital bed with his dad beside him. And come to find out, all along in this movie, at the end of this one, it was his dad that killed his mom. Which, when I heard that, I was like, oh, how could you? Like, that was pretty shocking the first time I seen it. And it still is as I watch it again and again. But, Baby Groot is in this, because remember, he died in the first one, so he grew back. And this is the first time we see him, but in baby form. Yeah, the ending scene, oh, Yondu, you will be remembered. Sacrificing himself for his adopted son, Peter Quill. But, alright, afterwards we got SpiderMan Homecoming, which I did see in theaters. It's got Robert Downey Jr. in there. Not throughout the whole movie, but he is in it. It's pretty good. I love this movie. Everything about this movie is, I love it. And I love the slipcover too, because look. He's upside down. But when you flip it up, it's meant to be like that because he's upside down. But when you look at the actual case, it's normal. But yeah, like I said, I love Spider-Man Homecoming. Michael Keaton as the Vulture, Adrian Toomes in this, very well executed, man. He was a very good villain. I almost want to compare him to Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin because he is over the top, I feel, in this movie too. And I really hope he comes back in a future Spider-Man movie. Hopefully in the new one that's going to be coming out really soon. But yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming, man, it's a great movie. I love the boat sequence. When he has to try to pull the boat together. Pretty much retconning that Spider-Man 2 scene with the train. But, come to find out, Iron Man came to the rescue and fixed the boat. But, yeah, it's a good movie. Spider-Man Homecoming is a great movie. And then, after that movie, we got Thor Ragnarok. It's comedic, but in a good way. It's hilarious from beginning to end. It's a great movie. It's the best of the Thor movies, by the way. And I can't wait to see the fourth one, which is going to be coming out. I think it's next year or 2023 it's going to be coming out. But it's called Thor Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder. But I can't wait for it, man. Because this one just screams epic. And I love that final battle sequence when they had to go back to Asgard to finish his sister off. But yeah, his sister's pretty evil in this. And she's the villain in this, by the way. And her character is pretty scary. It's scary in a good way. But there's that one. And then, after Thor Ragnarok, we got Black Panther. Oh, rest in peace. You will be remembered. Wakanda forever. But, Black Panther was a good movie. I saw it in theaters. It was a pretty great damn movie. Like, the special effects in this is pretty futuristic. Like, that one fight sequence with, it's not really a fight sequence, it's more of a chase sequence. But, I'm talking about the scene where Black Panther has to go and chase. Where's he at? Is he on the cover in this? He is, but he's not on the cover. Okay. That's weird. Unless, no, he's not on the cover. He's in the poster, though. But, he has to chase a guy in this movie, right? But the car is not like an average car. It's like a car made out of vibranium. And the whole time, his sister's controlling it inside Wakanda. So, it's a pretty good fight. I mean, chase, I should say. It's a pretty good chase sequence. And the villain, Killmonger, in this, is played by Michael B. Jordan. He was a great villain in this. I know some people say he was kind of weak, but, he was good in this movie. Alright, we got the biggest movie after Black Panther. We got Avengers Infinity War. The biggest movie, one of the biggest movies in the MCU. I mean, look at that. Look at that artwork on that cover. It's basically the poster. I mean, pretty much all these MCU releases have the poster artwork. Pretty much. But I like this one the best because they literally slapped every single character, which I thought would be pretty hard to do. But no, it's not, apparently. And then you look like Captain America with the beard, which I really wanted him to keep the beard for Endgame, but sadly he didn't. He shaved it. Basically, this is the last movie to have Hulk in it. Bruce Banner alone didn't want to quit, though. He would basically throughout the whole movie, he was in that new Hulkbuster armor. Yeah, everyone pretty much in this movie is pretty good, man. The villain Thanos, is pretty badass, man. He's the best villain in the MCU. I mean, we waited, what, 10 years for this movie? And we finally got it in 2018, man. After Black Panther. Yeah, it's a great movie. It's definitely good. I love the slipcover. It's nice and shiny. It's not embossed, but the logo's embossed. That's pretty much it, but it's just shiny throughout. On the spine, though, you get Captain America on one side, and you get Iron Man on the other side. Pretty good movie. It's a perfect movie. The fight sequences in it are pretty cool. I love the Wakanda fight the most. And then after that movie, we got Ant-Man and the Wasp, the sequel. I can't wait for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, I think that's what it's called. You guys can correct me in the comments, because I know for a fact I said that wrong. But yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp is a pretty good movie. And I like the spine. I don't know if how well that's going to pick up on camera. It's like a honeycomb effect, which could have been done in gold, to be honest. It could be done in gold. But I love this movie. I love it. Will I say it's better than the first one? No, of course not. But I think the shrinking works better in this movie, though. Like, the shrinking and growing scenes in this is pretty good. Better than the first. It's executed pretty well. Much better in Ant-Man and the Wasp and the first Ant-Man. Captain Marvel, the next film. It's a pretty good origin story. It's not my favorite MCU movie, but it has a pretty good origin story for Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel in this movie. The villain in this is pretty weak. I feel like he could have been much better. Captain Marvel 2, which is now titled The Marvels, is going to be coming out soon. Really nice slipcover on this one, too. It's nice and shiny and colorful when the light hits it. Yeah, I got not much to say about Captain Marvel. But, here we got Avengers In Game. And again, it's a nice, shiny slipcover. And it's my favorite MCU movie. I think it's the last, 25 minutes of the movie. Of that epic fight scene against Thanos' army. With all the Avengers. You get all your characters from basically throughout the entire MCU. They all come together for a big fight sequence at the end. That is the best part throughout the whole movie. I feel like Captain Marvel did better in this movie than in her own movie. In my opinion, I think she did better in this than Captain Marvel, her own solo movie. Thanos is the villain, of course, but it's the Guardians of the Galaxy version of him. It's the 2014 version of him. Because at the beginning of this, they kill the Thanos from Infinity War. And then they go back in time and pretty much get the Infinity Stones and snap everyone back that disintegrated in Infinity War. That's basically the plot throughout the whole movie. And it works perfectly in this. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't like pushed or thrown at you. It felt right. I can't wait for Black Widow's movie, man. Her movie's coming out next month. I need to start getting my ticket for her movie. And her movie is supposed to be a prequel because, spoiler alert, she does die in this movie. Yeah. And then we got the last movie in the MCU, the end of the Infinity Saga. We got the sequel to SpiderMan Homecoming, which is Spider-Man Far From Home. Which, to me, did a lot better than the first one. Like, the swinging scenes is much better in this than Homecoming. The chemistry between Zendaya and Tom Holland go through much better in this movie. Like, their relationship, much better in this movie. Much better. Samuel Jackson's in there. Mysterio was a damn good villain in this. He's one of the best villains in the MCU. And I'm going to say this right now. I don't think he's dead in the movie. Like, he was dead at the end of the movie, but I don't think the dude's dead. I think he's still alive. But let me hear your theories down in the comments below about Quentin Beck Mysterio. But yeah, I love the scene where Peter Parker's in the Quinjet with Happy, which is played by Jon Favreau. He makes his own Spider-Man suit, which is this suit, the red and black suit. And it just works perfectly because he does it the same way that Tony Stark used to make his suits and like gadgets and stuff. And Happy's like smiling at him because he was best friends with Tony Stark, and he's just smiling at him as he's doing it. And Peter turns around, he's like, "What?" He's like, "Nothing." I love that scene so much in the movie, and I love that suit. I love that red and black suit. And I love the Night Monkey suit too. That's what they call it in the movie, the Night Monkey suit. Which it's on the spine right there. It's like an all-black suit. There we go. It's focusing now. They call it the Night Monkey suit, but in the movie it's called the Stealth suit. But there it is. Spider-Man Homecoming. Far From Home. I gotta get used to that. But actually, you know what? I actually do have movie tickets for when I went to go see Far From Home and Endgame, so let me show you that right now. Alright, so here are my tickets when I went to go see Avengers Endgame, which is this one, and Far From Home. I don't have the tickets for the other ones because I didn't think it was appropriate to keep them at the time, but now I actually do keep them. 'Cause I feel like if you keep movie tickets and like wait until like the Blu-ray release of your film and just put it in the case, I feel like it's more valuable. At least for me it does. And I'm not going to tell you how many times I saw Endgame in the theaters, man. I saw the movie 3 times in the theater. I saw it in standard definition, I saw it in the IMAX, and I saw it in the IMAX 3D. Like, it was just a great movie. And then Spider-Man Far From Home, ended up seeing twice. I saw it on the IMAX and the standard version.